Ready or not, it's time for another epic adventure in the Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. Today, we'll be facing the Jabul Waters Rift, which includes Chaos at River Zora Village and Rampage in Zora Cove. And with Try on our side, nothing can stop us. So grab your sword, tighten your boots, and let's set out on this heroic quest. This quest starts at the waypoint near Seaside Village on the east end of the map. As soon as you arrive, the quest activates. You'll meet a couple of locals who explain that Lord Jabu, the great spirit living in the Jabu waters, has been acting wild ever since the large rift appeared near Jabu's den. They suggest heading east, beyond the bridge. As you make your way east, be sure to grab all the waypoints you see. There are plenty in this area, and they'll be really useful later on in the quest. Keep heading toward the rift, and don't forget to defeat and learn the echo of any new monsters that you encounter along the way. You'll find a waypoint near the entrance to Jabu's den, so be sure to check it. And once you're at the den, head inside. There, Try will tell you that they can create an entrance to the rift, but it's beyond a locked door. Just then, two River Zora will appear and explain that in order to open the door, you need to visit both Zora villages and bring their chiefs back here to perform the necessary ritual. Alright, let's head north to the Zora River Village first. Follow the path until you start spotting some huts that you can enter. The first one you'll come across is their general store. Inside, you can buy the Zora Flippers for a whopping 350 rupees. But these will help you swim faster, which is a huge advantage in this area, especially if you're not a fish. Just a quick reminder that you can also sell the smoothies that you made at the smoothie stand in the Gerudo Oasis if you're looking to make some extra rupees. I sold all of mine. And if you do sell all yours, I recommend also going back to make some more just in case you might need them throughout this whole thing. Anyway, so continue north within the village until you find the chief's place. You'll know it when you see it. Once you're inside, you'll find the chief is already in the middle of a conversation about how to calm down Lord Jabu. They also discuss about how he's in a squabble with the other chief and how she mocked his music and now he refuses to work with her. And Chief Dread wants to perform for the Great Spirit to calm him down, but before he'll even hear your request, he rushes off to Crossflows Plaza. Alright, let's go try our luck with the Sea Zora Chief. Head south to Zora Cove. Warp to the Crossflows Plaza waypoint and then continue south into the sea. You'll need to swim part of the way there, so don't forget to wear your Zora flippers. When you arrive, you might notice an underwater entrance, but make sure to jump onto dry land because there's another waypoint there, and we're going to use that later. Then, dive back into the water and head inside. Go all the way to the top and you'll find the Sea Zora Chief Kushara. They're having the same conversation as Chief Dread, debating how to calm down Lord Jabu. She also mentions the squabble and it claims that her music is more superior. They seem to both be at the same thing. And apparently Chief Dread insulted her music, and so she won't tolerate his presence. So just like Dread, she rushes off to Crossflows Plaza to save the day. So I guess that's our cue to warp back to the plaza too. When you get there, you'll walk right into a full-blown argument between Dread and Kushara. They start throwing insults at each other about their musical talents and eventually begin playing music at the same time, but not together. The result is a hideous noise that upsets Lord Jabu, triggering a manic episode. The chaos causes two Zora to be gobbled up while trying to protect their infant chiefs. Both chiefs decide to race after Lord Jabu to rescue their friends. The remaining Zora inform you that the Lord Jabu has headed upriver, likely toward the River Zora village. So let's warp back to the River Zora village. See why you should get all the waypoints? A lot of back and forth here. Tri mentions that they hear Drad's voice coming from over there, but they don't exactly specify exactly where. However, everyone's head turns to the east, so we can assume that that's the direction to go. Head upriver a bit further and you'll start to see the damage caused by Lord Jabu's rampage. Asking a nearby Zora, you'll learn that both Dread and Kushara did indeed head east. Go through the opening behind the broken hut, then head right and up the ramp behind the waterfalls. Follow the path east just past the water, and you'll come across a small rift. Chief Kushara mentions that a Zora father fell into the rift during Jabu's rampage, and Dread fell in while trying to save a child from the same fate. Looks like it's up to you to save the day. Tri can create an opening here, so let's go right inside. Welcome to the stilled Upper Zora River. Tri senses 5 areas where her friends are trapped. Just follow me to the 5 locations and I'll guide you. The first spot is going to be on the far left. I'll mark it on the map for you. To get to the next one, cross back over where you started. And go downward on the bridge and cross these floating pillars. But be careful on those, you don't want to slip and fall. Then jump into the water and press B to swim up. Go around and then swim back down to a horizontal pillar and continue from there. The next spot is at the end of the pillar. Then, make your way up and forward until you find a cave opening. Inside the cave, you'll need to defeat the bombfish. The trick here is just to touch it and quickly get out of the way so it can explode. That's all you have to do. You'll need to learn this to get through. Afterward, follow the path to the third location. Be sure to use the air bubbles to get some oxygen, then make your way to the top of the west side to find a rift monster. Defeat the Tektite to free the fourth group of friends. Then, find your way out of the cave. For the final group, head west and up to reach the last location. And that wraps up that task. Try and their friends, then mend the rift, and Try takes you back to your world. When you return, you'll find the chiefs along with the father who fell in the rift and his son. Chief Kushara soothes the boy's father with her music, and that's when Chief Drad realizes that Kushara really can play, especially when he's not playing against her at the same time. Just then, a Zora rushes in to inform Kushara that Lord Jabu has been spotted at Zora Cove. She immediately rushes off, and barely enough time passes for Drad to say thanks as he chases after Jabu and Kushara. So let's warp back to Zora Cove. A small Zora in the water tells you that everyone went east. And as you head east, you'll hear Drad groan in the distance. This Zora's son has wandered off, and she came here looking for him when Jabu stormed through. Kushara sensed the boy was in the cave and went in after him. But then, wham! A pile of rubble fell right in front of the cave's entrance, trapping them both inside. And even with all Drad's strength, he can't seem to move the rocks blocking the entrance. Despite his never meeting a pile of rocks that he can't move, he's struggling here, and won't listen until this dilemma is resolved. Try suggest finding another way in. If you jump in the water on the far end of the island, you'll discover a hidden entrance behind some seaweed. Head inside, go down the ladder, and make your way around to the cave exit. Use the glow plants to help guide you. It's also a good idea to defeat the Tangler level 2, as it has a light on its face that can help illuminate the path. When you surface, you'll find Kushara and the boy. She'll explain the situation and show you the pile of rocks blocking their way. Use Try's bind ability to move the rocks, allowing Drad and the boy's mother to come inside. But when they try to get the boy to leave, he's too scared to move. Drad soothes him with his music, and Kushara finally realizes that Drad is actually good at playing music too, when she's not playing against him at the same time. It's a strange revelation, but they exchange compliments and agree to work together. Kushara suggests we focus on calming Lord Jabu, and that's when Zelda finally gets a moment to speak. She explains that we can take care of the situation if both chiefs perform at Lord Jabu's den, so we can get the door open. We can enter the rift from inside the den. They both agree to perform and ask us to meet them at Jabu's den immediately. So let's go ahead and warp there. Once you enter Jabu's den and speak with the chiefs, they explain that they can't perform because the pedestals are broken and covered in rubble. You'll need to remove the rubble and find the pieces for the left pedestal. One small piece is nearby, and a larger piece can be found in the water. To get the larger piece out, you'll need to jump up onto something higher to lift it out of the water. After fixing the pedestal, Kushara and Drad will perform opening the doors to Jabu's den. Inside the den, you'll discover that Lord Jabu has returned, but he doesn't seem to be listening to reason. And both the chiefs are ready to jump in and help, whatever is necessary. However, as you jump in, a barrier is raised separating you. It's clear that the Jabu you're facing is an imposter. You'll have to battle this giant fish to progress. Don't worry, this fight is one of the easier ones. Here's how to deal with him. Watch his pattern. First, he spits things at you, and then he swims around. And you can just avoid him until he returns to his starting position, where he'll start sucking everything back in. That's when you want to release a bomb fish so he sucks it up. The explosion will stun him, allowing you to switch to sword fighter mode and attack him vigorously. After dealing some damage, he'll blow things out and start swimming around like a maniac. Continue to avoid him until he starts sucking things back in again, and give him another bomb fish. Keep repeating this cycle until he's defeated. When Jabu is finally defeated, it frees the two Zoras that were previously all gobbled up. Once everyone reunites, they celebrate with a few laughs, but then they realize they still don't know where the real Lord Jabu is. Try suggests that he may have been swallowed by the rift, since this is big enough. It's big enough to make an opening. It's big enough to swallow a fish. With that, let's skip right ahead to Jabu Ruins. First things first, activate that waypoint and we're ready to go. Right as we start, the floor drops right beneath you. Try lets us know that we can't go back the way we came, so we'll have to find another way around. We're just gonna keep moving forward, pushing both piles of rocks out of our way. But just as we're about to continue, we get stopped by a monster whose name we will learn later. But for now, it's spinning and creating a whirlpool in the water, and you need to outswim it. Press the right bumper to spin, it'll help you swim a little bit faster. Just steer clear of the Wa Tornado, which is what I'm calling these water tornadoes. Wa Tornado, okay? Remember that. Just keep moving forward until you reach a safety ladder, and then quickly climb up and get out of there. In this room, we just need to get to the back through these enemies and find a doorway with spiral stairs inside. In this area, be sure to check the waypoint and then head through the main center doorway. This is the main area. They're showing us that we need to create a water elevator to reach the boss room at the top. Step on the floor switch to activate the square on the wall and let some water flow. But, of course, it's not going to be enough, so we'll need to go to 4 other areas to push buttons and activate the water. Let's start by heading right. There's a floor ladder here that we can climb down. The theme of this area is pretty simple. Get through the waterway while dealing with the enemies and wooden planks. Oh, and up top here, here's a chest you definitely want to grab. Open it up to get your dungeon map. Now, stuff that in your pocket and let's navigate through these tricky waters. By the way, bombfish only care about your presence if you touch them, so be careful around them, but it doesn't matter if they see you. And then just keep going until you find another ladder. This next part is a bit tricky. You need to defeat all the enemies in the area. Use a bombfish over and over to get the chompfin echo, and then you can use that to defeat the other chompfins. And I used crows to take care of those Octoroks. There's also a safe spot in the back where you can keep releasing echoes from. You can climb up here too and grab this chest, but don't forget about the needle flies. Take them out or they'll mess you up. Pro tip, you can catch them with Tries Bond and then you can even drown them, just to make things a little bit easier. But after all that's done, we're going to need to tight walk that rope. Use water blocks to help you get across and make your way through the doorway with the stairs leading up. When you enter the next room, the gates lock behind you. To unlock them, you need to defeat all the enemies. I recommend placing crabs near all of them. They'll take care of them very quickly. Once all the enemies are defeated, head to the exit and you'll find a red floor switch. Step on that to release more water. Then, drop down through the hole in the floor that just opened up. Now go back to the ladder that you started at and climb back up to the main area. Cut across to the other side to find another floor ladder. In here, we need to navigate through the darkness and deal with new enemies. Just keep making your way through until you find your safety ladder. In this area, we need to light all the torches, including the one in the water. For that, we'll use a plat boom echo. Grab it, place it on there, and pull it off. Once it's out of the water, use your torch echo to light the other torches. In the next room, there's just a floor switch. Step on it just like before, more water gets released and a hole opens up in the floor. Jump through to get back to where we started. Climb back up the ladder and head to the next level of the main area. Now go to the water elevator and let it carry you up to the next level to find the last 2 buttons. Let's head left first. In this area, you'll need to make your way through fast-moving water while Octoroks shoot at you. I used a flying tile to hit the Octoroks and get around, but you'll also have to use the floating planks to get the rest of the way. You're going to make your way all the way back around into the far back where you'll find a doorway. Inside, you need to activate 5 switches. There's going to be one right in front of you. One just a smidge further down. And then one's up high, which can be tricky to reach. There's one underwater just to the south. And the last one is north, next to the locked exit behind all those crates. Now, we're back to one of those defeat all the enemies to escape rooms. I used my Gibdo in combination with Sword Fighter mode to take out the Tektites. Defeat them all and the door will open to the last area. Step on the floor switch and dive into the square hole to drop back down to where we started. No need to navigate it again, just head through the doorway. Cross over to the other side to find the last area before the boss room. And it's another underwater adventure. Get through here dealing with planks stuck under a boulder. You'll either need to move the boulder or blow up the wooden planks. This first area here has a chest. Go all the way down, and then come back up. And then go to the next one and keep going down all the way until you find the boss chest. And don't worry if you're starting to run out of air, unless you're also out of hearts. You'll make it. Open up that chest to get the boss key. Now, let's head back up, but let's kind of try to stay to the right. We're going to keep trying to go right, but also up. There is a spot up here where if you break the crates that you can catch your breath. Use a bomb fish to break the wood underwater and find the exit. This leads to another water area, but you can surface here, and I definitely recommend surfacing. You'll need to defeat all the enemies here to unlock the door. I used my Chompfin Echo and stayed out of the way. Once all the enemies are defeated, go through the underwater doorway. This leads to the underwater floor switch. Use a pot or something with weight to press the switch. And that's the last one. Now the water elevator in the main area is fully functional, and we have the boss key. This opens up the floor just like in the other areas. Just swim on through, navigate through the area, and blow up the wooden plank to move the rocks. Then go back around to the left and up the safety ladder to the main area. Ride the water elevator all the way up to the boss door. If you need more health, now is a great time to lie on a bed and restore your hearts. Then, jump into the hole and let's get this boss fight party started. Dun, 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 dun. It's the Vocavor. This guy's pretty tough because, well, he can breathe underwater and we can't. But if you grab a smoothie made with kelp before starting, you can breathe underwater longer. I sold all of mine for flippers, so I have to do without. But it can be done. Anyway, back to the battle. You need to pop the bubbles on his back, but he's going to keep sending tornadoes at you. I recommend using sword fighter mode for this. You can also call on your Chompfin to help and then hit him when he's stunned. Watch out because you're gonna lose a huge chunk of water. Just a nice little rectangle of water will disappear. And while that will help you breathe, it doesn't help you get above the Vocavor to land any hits. So I like to stay in the vertical part of the water, but that helps me dodge water tornadoes. And at a certain point, the Vocavor will be stunned upside down, allowing you to land some hits in sword fighter mode. Keep following his pattern. Avoid the water tornadoes and hit him when he's stunned. I also tried throwing stuff at him, but honestly, all you need is patience and sword fighter mode. Once he's defeated, Try's friends are freed and they start mending the rift. And looky, looky, Lord Jabu is back and better than ever. Try tells us that their friends shared some of their power, and now certain echoes cost less. Now all you gotta do is just grab your might crystal and your heart piece, and let's head back. When we return, Chief Drat and Chief Kushara show us their gratitude and then immediately go back to their regular old squabbles. But they did express their gratitude and they send us off to Crossville's Plaza to celebrate Lord Jabu's return. And I know it feels like we're wrapping it up, and we are, but there is one more thing. After the party, a confused General Wright shows up, demanding to know where he is. Turns out he must have ended up in that giant rift in Jabu waters, even though he fell into the Hyrule Castle rift. He heard music and came to get help. He wants to know how to get to Hyrule Castle. Then, he recognizes Zelda, even in her crazy disguise. She explains everything that happened while he was gone, and he freaks out a little bit. We let him know that Minister left us at Luberry's house, so off he goes, screaming, heading toward Luberry's place. I don't know why he's screaming. And since we didn't find Daddy-O, Try suggests that we head to Luberry's house too. And this wraps up the Jabu Waters Rift and the Searching for Everyone main quest, and activates the still missing main quest up next. And that's all she wrote. If this walkthrough helped you out, give that like button a little tap, hit subscribe for more Zelda goodness, and spread the word to your fellow adventurers. Got any questions or thoughts? Drop them in the comments below. I am all ears. Until next time, this is KKJinxx, over and out.